when they first come in, they're sideways and they're light. If you have Photoshop, all you have to do is there should be something that says, even if you don't have Photoshop, there should be something that says like image and transform. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. The second thing I need to do is crop it. And whatever program you're using, there should be some tool that says crop. And to make all of them the same, I'm cropping them all pretty close. Need to fit her arm in there. And there we go. And now I got rid of all the white space that I don't need. So, last thing, zoom in a little bit. And can't really see, but these lines are kind of light. So I'm gonna go up to colors. It's not always in colors, but you should have something that says levels. Levels. Very important tool. Oh, am I on the wrong thing? Yeah. Okay. And this side is black. There. And this side is white. And if I go to this side and pull this arrow over, it increases the amount of black that's in the picture. So that's what I want to do. Because there's only black and white on this picture, so if I jack up how much black there is, then my ink lines are now nice and dark. What I have to do now is color these on the computer. This is Photoshop 7, but the rules, the system that I use here, you can apply to pretty much any image editing program. So the first thing I'm going to do is over here, this is the layers. You can see right now the layer is locked. There's a little lock there, so I can't do anything to it. So I don't want that, so I'm going to drag this layer down to here, and that copies it, so now I have a version that isn't locked. I don't need this locked version. Okay, second thing you have to do is you have to change the blending method. That's this right here. And you need it to be multiply. The reason it has to be multiply is because your colors are going to be on a different layer. So if your background layer isn't set to multiply, then you're going to get some weird results. Okay, now I'm going to erase out this B here. The B was for my reference when I was saving the files and making the file names, so that I knew which slide I was working on. Okay, so that's done, and I can start actually getting some color on Squall. Alright, I'm going to start with the black, and the first thing I'm doing is finishing off this line here, and I'll show you why in just a minute. Now I've made a new layer here. Let this focus. Okay, here's my background layer, the layer that actually has the drawing on it, and here's my new layer. The new layer has nothing on it. It's completely blank, and what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to put the colors on this layer, but not touch this background layer. I don't want to mess with that. So, here's a completed slide that I did, and what I'm going to do is use the eyedropper tool, and I'm going to take the colors that are on this slide and use them on the other slide. And that is just so that the colors are exactly the same all the way through, because you would notice it if the colors were flashing and changing. So that's what it's going to look like when I'm done. But for now, I have my black color that I used on Squall. Now this tool right here, it's called the magic wand. It's going to be very, very important. So I have my magic wand selected, and what it does is if you click, oops, I clicked in the wrong place. If you click on your background layer where the ink lines are, it selects areas. So now his jacket and his sleeve are selected. If I hit shift, I can also select his gloves and his other arm, and I can select his pants. I did all this on the background layer. Now, I'm switching back to my blank color layer, and I'm just going to use the paint bucket tool, and there we go. It fills everything that I just selected. Okay, so I have all my basic colors down on both of them now. I'm going to demonstrate this on Squall's hair because it'll be really obvious on his hair. And once again, I'm going to refer back to my other picture now and then because I want the shadows to stay pretty consistent. They don't have to be exact, but they should be fairly consistent. Alright. So the first thing I'm going to do is take that magic wand tool again, and if I can, I'm gonna select some big areas, but I'm going to do this right on the brown layer. So I'm only selecting color. If I get rid of the outline, you can see I'm just selecting a block of color. Alright. What else can I select? That's really it. Okay. So I have this area right here selected, and it's kind of under his bang. It's kind of covered, so once again, I'm going to image adjustments, brightness, contrast. That's the whole thing. It's all about selecting a block of color and then adjusting the brightness. You don't even have to touch the contrast. All I'm going to do is slide the brightness down to -20 and hit OK. And I don't know, you can't really see it well on this camera, but it made only this block of color darker. Now, I can't just select the rest of this, because as soon as I try to use the magic wand tool, it selects his whole head. And I don't want to change all of that, I just want to change little pieces. So, we're going back to the polygonal lasso. And, okay. The last time I did this, I had a shadow kind of going like this. Okay, so now I have just this little piece of color selected, and once again, image, adjustments, brightness, contrast, and -20 brightness gets me a nice shadow right there.